Have you ever wondered what kind of examples IELTS examiners actually want to see in Task 2? One of the biggest misconceptions I see is that students think they need to include famous statistics, scientific studies, or something they recently saw on the news. Others go in the opposite direction and write about their neighbor, their cousin, or a friend of a friend. The reality is much simpler. In IELTS writing, Task 2, the purpose of an example is not to impress the examiner. The purpose of an example is to support and develop your main idea. Let's look at a weak example first. Imagine you are writing about pensions and retirement age. A Band 6 style example might look like this. I know a man who retired at the age of 60 and lived until he was 90. Therefore, governments should increase the retirement age. The problem is that this example is based on one person. It does not provide strong support for the argument because it is difficult to generalize from a single case. A stronger Band 7 example would be broader and more relatable. For example, in many countries, people are living significantly longer than previous generations, which means governments must provide pension payments for a much longer period of time. Notice how this example refers to a wider trend rather than one individual. So remember, when writing examples in IELTS Task 2, try to avoid stories about your neighbor, your cousin, or a friend of a friend. Instead, use examples that are broad, believable, and relevant to the point you are making. A useful rule is this: write examples that sound as if they could appear in a newspaper article. And remember, the example itself is not what earns a high score. What earns a high score is how well the example supports the development of your main idea. If you'd like to learn more about paragraph development, Band 7 and Band 8 writing, and what IELTS examiners are really looking for, follow this channel for more IELTS insights.